Assalamualaikum and good morning class. I'm gonna use this video to discuss about the double entry for bad debt. Okay. So in our previous class we have already briefly discussed about the difference between bad debts and allowance for doubtful debts. And we have also briefly discussed about the double entry that we need to make to deal with this two concept of bad debts and allowance for doubtful debt. So I'm gonna use this question that I have shared with you earlier to discuss about the technique of double entry when we have bad debts in our company. Okay, so I have this notes that I have paste that I get from the previous lecture notes that discuss about the double entry, and then this is the question, okay, that we are going to use as an example. So let's go through the question first. So it said here, in a new business during the year ended 31st December 2013, the following debts are found to be bad and are written off on the dates shown. Okay, so what this question is trying to say, that trying to tell us is this company is having these three debtors, okay, these three accounts receivable as a bad debt, okay, and the bad debts occurs happen in three different dates, okay. So what we need to do is once we have once we have debtors bad debt, we need to close these debtors accounts, and then the double entry for this debtors account would be bad debts, okay. So this is what this notes talk about lah, okay. And then in the following sentence of the question, it said that on 31st December 2013, the schedule of remaining account receivable totaling £15,000 is examined, and it is decided to make an allowance for doubtful debts of £500. Okay, so this is actually to mention about the balance of debtors, the balance of account receivable that this company is still have in its business, and the amount was 15,000. And then it's also said that the company has also created an allowance for the debt of £500. So we are going to use these information to prepare the allowance for the debt account, and also to prepare the entries in final accounts. Okay. So these are the requirements of the question. So we are going to do this. So let's start with our entry. So I have already prepared three accounts to represent these three accounts receivable that this company is having, and this would be our first entry. Okay, so our first entry would be to close the account receivable accounts, the accounts receivable that been declared bad debt, so we need to close them. So these are the three bad debtors account, which are S. Jill and Son, H. Black Limited, and A. Tom. So I have created the balance, the beginning balance for these three accounts. So this amount is to suit with the amount of balance that this account receivable still have on the date of bad debt declarations. Okay. So from this question, it said that on 31st May, SGIL was declared bad debts. Okay, so this would be our first entry. So we need to do the entry on the credit side of the debtors account. So you are going to write down the date of bad debt. Okay. So the debit entry would be bad debt. Okay. So this is the bad debts account. And the amount would be 300. And same goes to the rest of the bad debtors. So we have Charge Black Limited for £100 on 30 September. So 30 September. Debit entry with bad debt. And the amount 400. And the last account receivable is Atom, and the date is 13 November. So debit entry with bad debt. Okay, the amount is 200 200. Right. Okay, so these are the 3 entries Okay, so you can see here in these 3 debtors account, okay, there are no balance CD. So when we don't have any balance CD for these 3 accounts, it means that you have already closed permanently closed these 3 accounts. Okay, so we need to close them because they have been declared as a bad debtors. Okay, so we are no longer need to deal with them lah. So that is the technical part that is the reason why we should do the debit entry with bad debt. Okay, now let's proceed to the bad debt account. I'm gonna copy this first. Okay, we need to have some space here. Okay, alright. Okay, so this is the bad debt account. So what you need to do is to do the debit entry from the previous 3 accounts. Okay, so when you have SGIL and Sun credit, so it means that in the bad debt account you need to have it debit. Okay, double entry system. And Sun, I'm sorry, and Sun 600. Okay, next entry would be for Hash Black Limited. $400. And last would be for Atom. 30 of November. Okay. 200. Okay. Right. Okay. So this is the debit entry for bad debt account. So if you have 3 debtors, bad debts. Okay. If you have 3 bad debtors in your account, in your business, so you need to do those 3 entries also lah. Okay. So next would be to close. Yeah lah, betul lah. Okay. Next is to close the bad debt account. So at the end of the year, we will close this with final accounts. Okay, so look at the date, 31st December 2013. So double entry with final account. So we know that bad debt is considered as an expenses. So the type of final accounts that we need to record would be in the statement of comprehensive income. So get the total of these three, 300 plus 400 plus 200. So you get 1,200. 1,200. Right. Okay. So we get total of 1,200 both on the debit and credit. Okay. So this is the entries. So you can see here, for bad debt account, there is also no balance CD. Okay. You cannot have balance CD for bad debt account because you need to close every bad debt account. Every bad debt account. Okay. You only have one. Okay. You need to close. You need to close the bad debt account each year. You cannot have any balance for bad debt account. You cannot bring the balance to the following year. You cannot. Okay. So this is the principles. Okay. I hope you can remember that. So I will make it this. Okay. No. Boleh lah. Okay. Okay. Right. So next entry would be in the final accounts. But before that, we are going to look back at the question. Okay. So the next part of the question, we have this sentence that talk about the allowance for doubtful debt. Okay. So it means that we need to open an allowance for doubtful debt account. Okay. So I'm gonna copy this. I think I need only one entry. Copy. Right. Okay. So we have this allowance for doubtful debt account. Okay. Okay. So this is the account to record the allowance for doubtful debt. So the question has already counted the values of allowance. So we simply have to use back the numbers, the amount. And we know that allowance for doubtful debt is considered as an expenses. So expenses, the double entry would be in the SOCI. So when you have it expenses, the entry would be on the credit side of the accounts. Okay. So the allowance for doubtful debt can only be created at the end of accounting year. Okay. Same principles as what we have for depreciation. Okay. So we have it at this date, 31st of December 2013, and the double entry would be in the final accounts, which is SOCI, statement of comprehensive income. Okay, and the amount would be 500. Okay, 500 pound. Any 500 pound. Okay. So then we need to close the allowance for the account. So we are going to close it with balance CD. $500. Okay, right. Okay. I hope you can see the difference between bad debt and allowance for the food debt account. Okay. For bad debt, you cannot have any balance CD. But for allowance for the food debt, you can see here, we do have balance CD. It means that you can bring the balance from year 2013 to 2014. Okay, so this is the main difference between bad debt account and allowance for doubtful debt account. Bad debt account cannot have ending balance, but for allowance for doubtful debt account, okay, you can have balance, you can have ending balance. Okay, alright. So we have done with all the entries to deal with bad debt and allowance for doubtful debt. So we have answered this first question. So next we need to do the entries in the final account. So we are going to do this B and C. Okay. So I have already pasted the format of the final account from the previous exercises. So I'm gonna take it back. No. Oh, not this one. Where is my, okay, this one. Right. Okay. Okay. So let me trace it. Okay. Alright. Okay. Let me edit this first. Okay. So we have another amount for Sochi, the extract. So this is for Sochi and the right one is for Sophie. Okay, statement of financial position. Okay, so let's do the debit entry. Let's do the entries in the Sochi first. So we can see here, we are having this entry for the year 2013, and then we have created two expenses account, which are bad debt account and allowance for debt account. So what you need to do is you do the debit entry, okay, from the amount that you have in the accounts, okay. So we are going to categorize them as an expenses, okay. So bad debt, okay, you look at the bad debt account, okay, 1,200. So you write it down 1,200, and then for the allowance for that, we have this debit entry with the Sochi 500. So you write it down in the extract of your Sochi 500. Okay, just like that. And then we also have entries in the other final account, which is statement of financial position. So you have this extract of the statement of financial position. Okay, so we are going to put them under current asset. So we are going to start with the account receivable. So we are going to refer to this info that we have from the question. Okay, so account receivable 15,000 was the balance. So write it down 15,000. Okay, and then minus with accumulated allowance for that 500. Okay, alright. So I have question for you. Why don't we write down bad debt in the statement of financial position? Why do we only have accumulated allowance for that in the statement of financial position? Okay, why? Suppose by right, okay, by right you supposed to deduct your account receivable with bad debt and allowance for that. But for our discussion here, we does not we does not deduct the bad debt from the account receivable. Okay, there must be a reason, okay, why we do this. Okay, the reason is, okay, you have to look back at the question. Okay, the question is using these words, okay? Written off. These words written off. Okay? Written off. The words written off means this amount of bad debts, okay? This amount of bad debt, these three amounts, these three amounts of bad debt has already been deducted from the total account receivable of 15,000. Okay, ia dah siap ditolak. Perkataan written off bermaksud nilai-nilai ni, okay, nilai-nilai penghutang ni, okay, yang berjumlah 1,200 ni dah siap ditolak daripada baki 15,000 penghutang yang masih lagi dimiliki oleh peniaga pada hujung tahun 2013. Okay, so this is the meaning of written off. Okay, write off, written off. So this is the reason why we do not deduct, okay, why we do not minus bad debt from the account receivable in the extract of statement of financial position. This is the reason. Okay, so it is very important for you to really understand the question, and it is also very important for you to look at this sentence. Okay, if you do the accounts of to deal with accounts receivable, if you are doing an exercises, if you are doing an exercise, okay, under this topic, you must make sure whether there is a words written off or not in the sentence. Okay, if they do have these words, okay, it means that the amount has been deducted, okay, from the account receivable. So you do not have to re-deduct. Jangan tolak semula. You do not need to re-deduct the amount from the entries in the final account. Jangan tolak semula sebab dah siap tolak. Alright. So this would be it. Okay. So ini adalah jawapan untuk kita punya perbincangan. So these are the question. Okay. These are the entries for this subtopic of bad debts. Okay. I hope you can find it useful to understand the discussion. Okay, I hope you can find this video useful. Okay, to understand the discussion on bad debt. Okay, so we are going to test your understanding on this subtopic from additional exercise that I'm going to share with you later lah. Okay, so that's it. Okay, for this video. If you find any problem to understand this, please feel free to ask me question personally. Okay, so that's it. Thank you, class. Assalamualaikum and good morning, good very morning. Salam subuh. Okay, bye, take care and keep safe everyone.